Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. All right, how about a little optimism today? How about some good news? Change for everything else going on. Why would we have good news? Maybe it has something to do with the American public is waking up, you know, and Joe's tenure, the Democrats as a whole, not looking good. Okay. you know, you look at the Democrat Party right now, and it's literally rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I mean, there's no way about it. We know, I know that the country's in a heap of shit. All right. The economy sucks. Crime is through the roof. Nobody can afford housing. Food is too expensive. The southern border is just so porous. It's unbelievable. Yada, yada. And those are all because of Democrat policies. And here's the biggest catch. Okay. Who are the people that suffer the most in a situation such as we have? Okay. It is most likely the poor or the young. That's it. Okay. Because Jeff Bezos is not worried about whether he can afford groceries tomorrow. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio was not worried about whether or not he can build a house. Nancy Pelosi isn't worried about crime around her gated house. Okay. But remember, walls don't work. Okay. The rich don't have the same problem that middle class and the poor have. And everything Joe has done has been at the detriment to the middle class and the poor. And like I said, eventually what you have happening is people wake up. Now, you look at 2024 coming, okay? And I know, again, we're going to go into the people that say there's not going to be an election. I'm not going to disagree with you because what I'm about to tell you is just more fuel as to why the Democrats don't want an election, okay? It's the only way they're going to keep power. With everything going on in the Middle East right now, and the calls by Democrats, literally here, guys, to stop funding Israel and instead fund Hamas and send them humanitarian aid. Okay. That's what the Democrats are calling for. They want to fund terrorism. They want the United States to start sending your tax dollars to terrorists. Break it down to the brass tacks, guys. That's exactly what it is. That's what you're hearing about from the left. And this is more than Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. Okay. If you're Jewish, which is usually a very strong voting bloc for the Democrats, how's that sound to you? Okay. That your party, the person that you potentially want to vote for, wants to fund the people that want to destroy your homeland. Okay. Gee, where do I sign up? Let me vote for Joe because that sounds great. Right? Let's say you're black. Okay. Now, the black population of the United States has a significant issue with poverty. Okay. Education, the whole 9 yards. The inner cities are crap. How about this? Yesterday, you had one of the original founding members of BLM endorse Donald Trump because he said Biden and the Democrats have sold out the black community. That's a problem. Why did the Democrats move the first state, their first primary, to South Carolina? Oh, Iowa and New Hampshire are not representative enough. They're too white of states. We need to make it South Carolina. Okay, of course, New Hampshire said right here, we're still going first. Joe just won't be on the ballot. Not a good idea, Joe. Okay. So that winds up with an issue there. Gee, if now leadership in the black community, albeit BLM, okay, which my absolute love of burn, loot, and murder. If the black community's running away from the Democrat Party, not good. So let's take a look at the next one. The Hispanic community, the legal Hispanic community, the ones that actually can vote. We do have a large Hispanic community in the United States. Oh yeah, guess what? They're running away from the Democrats too. I mean, I'll give you this. Last president, okay, 61% of Hispanics thought that the American dream was reachable. Okay, 2/3, American dream, house, 2 cars, 2.5 kids, whatever it would be, the American dream. Nearly 2/3 of them thought it was attainable. Now, under Joe, 23% think the American dream is attainable. A drop of nearly 40 percentage points. The Hispanic population is souring on the Democrats. Oops, that kind of blows your whole theory on let's open the southern border. Because you want to know who the biggest group is that opposes the free flow of illegals over the southern border? It's Hispanics, okay? Because they are competing for those jobs, the same jobs. The legal Hispanics are competing for primarily the same jobs as the illegal ones are, okay? And then the illegals are giving the legal Hispanics a bad name, okay? It's no different than if you take a look at the Islamophobia we had in, say 2001, 2002. There were a bunch of radical Muslims who blew up some buildings with airplanes, okay? And all of a sudden, every person of Arab descent got lumped into the same group, as you will, as the bad people. I mean, and again, we say this all the time, and think about the logic of this. All the bitching about racism, a white, the media playing this one up, a white cop killing a black guy. It happens, okay, face it. And therefore, all whites are racist, right? How many times has that picture been painted? We all know it's not true, but it's used day in and day out to say all whites are racist. But I'm saying at the same time, you get into, as much as we know it's not true, it works every other way too, okay? All people of Arab descent are not terrorists. All blacks are not gangbangers, all Hispanics aren't part of drug cartels, go on down. But so we continue. So the next group that is running away from the Biden administration, the young people, believe it or not, the Gen Z, the Zoomers and the Millennials are waking up going, this isn't working. No shit, Sherlock, we told you that, okay? You just, like every other 20-year-old in the world, you think you know everything. I thought I knew everything when I was 20 years old, and then the world slapped me in the face, okay? As you get older, you get wiser. It happens, okay? And we try to tell you what's going to happen based on our experience because been there, done that, okay? We realized as we got older, we didn't know everything. It's amazing how you take somebody who's 60 and they'll admit, or 70 or whatever, and they'll admit all the things they don't know in their 60 or 70 years of life experience. But a 20-year-old knows more. Doesn't work that way. So here you go. You've got the Jewish community, the Black community, the Hispanic community, and the young community all turning tail on the Democrat Party. Optimism. Now, I'm certainly not going to say that all those people miraculously are going to vote for Donald Trump. Face it, guys, okay? Trump is going to be the nominee. I don't care how much Fox tries to push Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis. They are not getting the nomination. Period. Okay. And if they do, you might as well cancel next year's election, because the Democrats could run Mickey Mouse and win, because there will be a whole truckload of voters, myself included, who would never vote for Nikki Haley and might vote for a Ron DeSantis 4 years from now. Right now, I want DeSantis to go back to Florida and do his job that he was elected to do. Okay? Nikki Haley, I hope she gets on a rubber raft with a knife and goes and sails in the center of the Atlantic. Okay? That's it. She has no business whatsoever anywhere near politics. She's a warmonger. She's thrilled to have us in Ukraine, to have us involved in Israel. I'm sick of war. I don't know about anybody else. We've been at war for freaking 20 some odd years at this point. I'm done. So what happens? Do the Democrats dump Joe Biden? That's fine. He might be the sacrificial lamb and at the last minute bring in Gavin Newsom. It's possible. I don't think that will overwhelmingly turn the Jewish community, the Black community, the Hispanic community, the young community. I don't think it's going to be a massive, oh, God, you know what? That'll change everything. Still the same policies. But I also don't think it's going to flip everybody over to Trump. There's still never Trumpers out there. Okay? They need their head examined, but that's another question. So where do they go? One of two things is going to happen. We are either going to have one of the lowest voter turnouts in 2024, which is amazing because in 2020, we miraculously had the highest voter turnout ever, right? Joe got 81 million votes, more than any president ever. Right. Okay. So we're either going to have a very low voter turnout because people are just going to say, screw this, I'm not voting. Or we're going to have a viable third party candidate. Now, I don't think that's going to be Cornel West. Robert F. Kennedy has certainly fallen by the wayside. He peaked and he's coming back down, okay, because people are realizing we don't particularly care for what he says. He's certainly not getting the media coverage he did before. So that throws the wild card in, which is the No Labels Party, who keeps on talking about putting Joe Manchin on the ballot. Now, Joe Manchin certainly is a moderate Democrat. There's no question. Okay, there's been talk in the past. You guys have heard it. Would Manchin change over to becoming a Republican? So I mean, he's about as middle as you get. Is he a better option than Joe Biden? Yep. Would he drain the swamp? Not a chance. Okay, but that's kind of what we're looking for. Joe's days are done. This is what I'm saying. This is optimism. The public, the groups, because we're all pigeonholed into a different, soccer moms or whatever, straight white males, we're all pigeonholed into different groups. And Biden is hemorrhaging support from them. At least we can look at one thing. The chances now look about slim to none that Joe is going to get reelected. Doesn't mean a Democrat won't get elected in 2024. But at least to God, it won't be this popsicle-eating, diaper-wearing moron. Pinball out.